Hey, what's up everybody? Brian here with the Holy Roller playing craps on a cruise to win a free cruise. And I'm going to show you something that I think is a misperception or a misconception, a misthought. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but basically people don't understand when you put money on the don't pass, they think you're betting against the shooter, playing the dark side like I'm against you. Really, you're playing with the dice. Let's talk about it. Here we go.
Welcome to the Holy Roller, where it's all about playing craps and winning free cruises. I'm going to show you what it's all about, so let's get rolling.
All right, the highest probability of number to roll is a 7 right here. Then the next two high probabilities is a 6 and an 8. There's 6 ways to make a 7, 5 ways to make a 6 or an 8. Now, if you combine the 6 and 8 together, there's 10 ways to make a 6 and 8 and only 6 ways to make a 7. So if you're going to bet one of the other, like 6 or 8, I would say always bet both of them, because that's your higher probability when the dice are rolling. And if you're playing with the dice and rolling the dice and playing the game of craps, then you should always play the 7, because that's the highest number that's rolled all the time. But whenever you play on the don't pass, people think that you're against them and you're betting against the shooter and you're wanting the shooter to lose. Well, and some people say you're not playing with the table, you're playing against the table. You're playing with the dice, and I think everybody that plays craps should understand that you are rolling dice, right? All right, so if you're rolling dice, then you're going to want to make sure that you're betting the 7. But did you know you could bet the 7 without betting it here? Because I think a lot of times people, they see this and they just hate you pretty much. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's because they don't understand the game and how it's played. That's why they hate you. Now, the thing is, it's a 50-50 shot here or here. So it doesn't matter if you play here or here, in my opinion. I think it's going to be the same. The difference is you're just betting the 7. This is where you bet the 7. There's another place to bet the 7, and I'll talk about that in a second. Now, what most people think when they want to bet the 7, and when something comes up, there is the any 7 here, and you can bet this bet here, and it pays 5 to 1 or 5-4-1. So this would be a $25 win or $20 extra, because when it's 5-4-1, they'll give you 5, but they'll take your 1. So it's $20 that you would win. 4 units when you put 1 down. All right. But that's on every roll. It's a 1 roll bet. These are called proposition bets or prop bets. So you only bet it 1 time. You can also do what's called hopping the 7, which pays 15 for 1. That pays a little bit more and better if you do the hopping 7s. But you need at least $3, because there's 3 ways to make a 7. Although there's 6 ways to roll it, you're only going to see it if you see a 6-1, the other one would be a 1-6. So basically, you're going to see it 3 different ways. So if you hop the 7, and usually there's bets up here. If they don't have them up here, a lot of times they'll still take that. But you would need $3 to win 15 if the 7 came. And if you wanted to pay 5 and you paid $15 on hopping the 7 up here, then that would pay 75. So basically, you're betting the 7 over here on the proposition bets. You wouldn't want to say any 7 or hop the 7s when the puck is on, because it's just rude, because they're trying to they're trying to make a 9, and you're like betting, hey, bet on the 7 to roll right now. So instead of using the word 7, you could use the word big red. And so I think that's probably the biggest one. If you just say red, so if you were to say $5 on red, then they know that red is a 7. If you say hop red and you throw in 3 units, if you throw in 3 and you're like hop the reds, then they know that that's 7. And you could say red without saying the word 7, because a lot of times, especially if you're on the don't or wanting a 7 to roll, saying the word 7, and even if you don't want it to roll, it's just saying the word 7. People are very superstitious, and so they're like, why did you say that word, right? All right, so let's talk about another bet that you can do that people won't understand that you're actually playing the dark side, because sometimes they don't know how the game works. Now, some people will know this, but sometimes if I'm here and I know I'm at a table where there's a bunch of people that are just like, they don't understand it, so they're like, why is that guy playing like that? What's hilarious is that once the puck So let's say I don't, say I want to have $25 on the don't, or play the $25. I wanted to play $25 on the 7. But I didn't want people to think I was, they're like, you're crazy, or why are you doing that? So I would just hold my bet. I would let a come out roll happen. All right, so let's say a come out roll happen and the point gets established and it's an 8. So now the point is 8, and so I mark the 8. Now remember, I don't have the 7 bet right here. I would have been betting against the 8 here. So what I'll do is I'll either throw this, either be over here on this side, or I'll throw this to the dealer and I'll say DC. What that means is don't come. So much like the come bet, there is what's called a don't come bet, or much like the pass line, there's a don't pass line. But this one has to do with the next roll. So here, when it was here, everybody would have saw it and everybody had their pass line bet, and then you have a don't and they're like, what the guy? But sometimes they don't know what that bet is. And so right here, this bet right here wins on 2-3, it loses on 7-11, and it pushes on 12, just like this. However, it will go to the point, just like the comeback goes to the point and you want to roll it again. Let me see what happens here, and I'll show you. So 6, all right, so 6. Because a 6 was the next one rolled, this number right here will go to the 6. And it's behind the 6, which means this bet loses if we roll a 6, but it wins if we roll a 7. And so I'm playing it, but I'm not playing it here where everybody doesn't understand it. I'm playing it over there, and they don't understand it. But the idea is that you can play behind. That's called going behind. Play through the don't come, and you play behind. And now we want no 6. All right. So there's also another bet, and that's the way to get what I call a no 6 for free, pretty much. If you wanted to bet what's called a lay bet, or to lay a bet, you'd have to do a minimum of $30 to win 25. This is 25 to win 25. Now, if I wanted, so let's reverse everything that just happened, and let's say I wanted to lay the 6. I would pay $30. It would cost me $1 VIG, or tax, or commission, to place that bet. It would be called what's a lay bet, and because it costs that much, I would win 25, which would be mean $24 because I had to pay for the VIG to place that bet. So I can also play it that way. I can lay it, and then people don't understand that I'm playing the 7. So this is a bet on the 7 over the 6. It pays 25 here. I think here it pays 20. 30 pays 20. And then here, 30 pays 15, mainly because of the odds. But you're still going to have to pay the VIG on every one. But when you have it going through the don't, and you take it through the DC, then it would be the same thing where this right here, if a 10 rolled, the difference is when it was 30, it paid 15. It only paid half. The difference is, if you take the risk of going through the don't, then that actually pays 25 if a 7 comes before a 10. So let's say we rolled a 6. Let's go back to where we were. We just rolled a 6. Our money moved behind it, okay? And so now let's do a come bet. Just so you know how the come bet works, it's the same thing, it's just opposite, okay? So now the next number that rolls, here's a 7-11 wins, 2-3-12 loses, okay? So let's say we wanted to have our points here. Here we go. Let's see what number rolls. And it's an 8, all right? An 8. So if we were betting the 7 here and the 8 rolled with the puck, we would have lost this bet. Going this way with the roll, that is a 6. We actually still have that bet there. This bet, although this goes off, this bet moves to the 8. Now we have an 8 working and a no 6 working. No, in other words, we don't want to roll a 6. We do want to roll an 8. But if we roll a 7, we would lose this, but we'd win that. So we'd break even. All right, let's see what happens. They roll, and it is a 10. All right. So now they're on a 10. And they have to roll a 10 to win. Now our bets are on a no 6 or a 7 and an 8. So what we want to see is we want to see an 8 to roll. Let's see if we can get it. Okay, a 7 rolled. All right. So anybody that had money everywhere, they lost all their money. They're sad. But this goes off. We lost too. We lost this. But then we win here. And what they do is they put it here. Then they'll bounce it here. Then they'll pay it off to you. So we played that round, but actually just broke even. All right, so let's do it one more time. And that's the way I would play it. But I'm going to show you if you had, like I said, if you didn't want to play here, watch this. You can actually play a combination of come and don't come to hedge your bets. So let me show you how it works. You can't do a don't come or a come bet while the puck is off. It has to be on, because when it's off, it's pretty much a pass or a don't pass. But let's let a point be established. We'll let somebody roll and see what point they get. And so they got a 10. So now their point is 10. And now they're going to have to roll a 10. Now, if you're at a table and there's a bunch of 0.7 out, 0.7 out, I would always start with the come bet. Because right here, it's 7-11 win, 2-3-12 lose. Let's see what happens. And it's a 10. Wow, they won their point. This is great. Everybody's happy. We were just playing on another game. So now this goes off. Our money moves to the 10. And so now we want a 10 and no 7. This bet is just like this bet. It cannot be turned off, okay? So now the come out roll, we want a 10. A 7, we would lose pretty much. We'd lose that bet on a 7. Now, because the puck's off, we can't do another come or a don't come. But we're going to stay away from this. You only have to play the pass or the don't pass if you're the shooter. So we're not the shooter. So here we go. And it's a 5. All right, so the point becomes 5. And now they're on the 5. Now, I could set another come bet if I wanted to, or I could go straight through the DC and hopefully get no 7, no 11 right now. All right, let's see what happens. And it's a 9. All right, so that's a 9. So this is going to move behind the 9. So now the 5 doesn't matter. I'm not even playing this game here. I'm playing the 10 and the 7, meaning no 9. I want the 7 instead of a 9. All right. So I could do another come bet now, because if a 7 comes now, I would win. I'd lose here, but I'd win there and there. Okay. So now that this is happening where I'm winning a 7 here, 7-11, I would win. If I had the best roll could right here for me right now would be an 11. But let's see what happens. It's an 8. An 8. All right. Because it's a come, it moves just like the puck moves. And now I have to roll an 8 before 7 to win this bet. Now, watch this. I'm going to take another 25 and go here. All right, let's see what rolls next. Remember, this doesn't really matter to me. I'm playing my own game here. Here we go. And it's a 9. All right, so a 9 rolled instead of a 7, which means I lost this bet. This bet loses. This bet moves behind the 9 again. Now, usually I only play this with 4 units. So being that we lost 1 unit. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put any more money out. I'm only playing with 4 units. Now 4 units could be $25. But if the table's a $10 table, 4 units would be $40 or $10. Even though this $10 is $5, it would be called 1 unit if it's a $10 table. If you're at a $5 table, it'd be 1 unit. And that could be confusing, so don't worry about that. We could talk more about that later. What I'm looking to do is I'm looking to hit an 8 or a 10 before I put another don't pass in, because I don't want to risk more than 4 units on a shooter. Here we go. Let's see if we can get an 8 or a 10. And it is a 6. Does nothing for us. And there's a yo 11. Yo 11. I wish that 11 would have rolled when I had the bet right there. And it's a 5. So 0.5. Everybody's happy. The guy won, the winner, the shooter won, the lady won. All right. And the thing is, that doesn't affect us. Right now, we want an 8 or a 10, but we want no 9. All right. Here we go. Let's see what happens. And there's an 8. All right. So because we couldn't turn these off, they're always working. So this right here, the point becomes 8. And that 25 that we lost, this actually gets paid right here just like this. So now we're back at the place where we have the 4 units we started with, but we have one right here and one right there. I like to think of it as that one is backing up that one. So the first thing I want to do is put this here and have a bet here. I want to see an 11 right now. Now, if a 7 came right now, I would win. I would lose this. I would win it there and I'd win it there. So based on those 4 units, I have one of them here. And then I would win 1 unit. So I'd be $25 up if a 7 came right now. I would love an 11 to come right now. Or a 10 would be nice too. Here we go. And there's an 11. So an 11 rolls and then I get paid here. So I'm going to just put this right here. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units based on the 4 that I started with. What I'll do is I'm going to put this in a separate rack so I know that I have my 4 units and I know I'm up 1 unit. Here we go. Let's roll. And there's a 12. Well, just as fast as I got it, remember 2, 3, 12 lose. Just as fast as I got it, I lost it. So now 1, 2, 3, 4. I still have 4 units. I was up $25. Now I'm broken even. Here we go. And a 7 came. Well, with the 7 coming, I'm gonna win 7 here. I'm gonna win double my bet here because of the 7. Then I'm gonna lose this, but I'm gonna win this. So you can see, because I kept track of my bankroll, I won $25 on that whole scenario. Now, the 7 came, so the point is off. So that is a way to play a game within the game when people are around here playing the pass line and they don't understand, like, what the don't pass is, and you think you're playing against the shooter. You're really playing with the dice. So if you want to play with the dice, then I would play some type of scenario like that, and definitely play where you do have and are betting the 7, because that's the most probability. Hey, I hope this video helps, and remember, if you'd like to play craps on a cruise to win a free cruise, subscribe to the Holy Roller, and make sure to watch this video if you'd like to learn more, and I hope to see you cruising and rolling on a craps table soon. See ya!